I wasn't in the last like one.
Okay, we are actually. Honestly, this is on time for us.
Wait, we're actually live already?
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Yes, because it's 10 after, not even technically.
Wow, we're doing good. We can get in
No.
quite a bit tonight.
Hopefully.
Pray it.
Yeah, the other
Woohoo!
client will be joining us shortly. He just got off work like 5 minutes ago.
Hopefully.
And we so lots of things to kind of, I say lots, not really, but they're big things to kind of announce. One, Rip Light is now with us, and
Rip
here
Light.
he's here with the hiccups. Yeah, we got Little Rip and Rip Light. He's here
Is
with
the next one going to be Diet Rip?
There is no next one. But if there was, yes.
Sure.
Be careful, bud. Be careful. You can get them, but be careful. So yeah.
Yeah, I said there won't be a third one. And, well, you see, life had other options. Or had other ideas for me.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah.
Snip, snip.
Pretty
I
much.
did.
Oh, no. Well, one moment. Everybody here is kind of recovering well and adjusting. Little Rip is being annoying and doesn't like to listen lately, but that's kind of to be expected.
How to get it?
He is offended.
Yeah. Be careful with your brother, okay? Yep.
Yeah, baby, please don't hurt him.
So, yeah, everybody's doing well. Second thing is,
That is
this
good to
is, do not press that button. We are, we are technically, this is our first stream as
Affiliates?
an affiliate.
Yeah.
Hey.
Look at us go. It only took us 116 sessions to get there, but...
Well, I mean, to be fair, I could have been doing a lot more behind the scenes. Because I've been doing more in the
You've been
last
doing
3
plenty.
months.
You have been doing plenty.
Well, like I said, I had been doing more in the last couple of months to reach affiliate than I had in the last 2 years. So, but yeah, no, that's a big thing for me. That's huge. I am ecstatic. One of the things that I want to do, hey, keep your voice down. One of the things that I want to do to bring to the channel is I want to bring some emotes, some custom emotes to the channel. And my plan is to reach out to a great friend of ours, a great friend of the channel, and a former co-star on the channel, Ginger, to do these emotes, because I know he really likes to do Twitch emotes, and he's really good at them. And I've just been kind of waiting until money is a thing again to kind of do that. Why have you been quiet up until now, and now you choose to get right up to my microphone and make a lot of noise?
You're not paying attention to him now.
Those kids.
I wasn't paying attention to him before, but but that being said, I think that's the last thing I had to really announce. Oh, I guess the other thing is I don't know if I will be doing streams really outside of, individual streams. So anything outside of D&D, maybe some Monster Hunter on the occasion. I don't know if I'll be doing any individual streams just due to my wacky, chaotic schedule, which means, unfortunately, probably no more Tears of the Kingdom. I might do another playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom individually once we get everything sorted. And what I mean by sorted is we're still looking for a place to live.
And hopefully get yourself a man cave.
I would hope, but the last time I had one, I got it taken away, so we'll see.
What did you do?
Apparently I wasn't spending time with the family.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Not exactly that, but that's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it too. I think that's
guess.
just a man thing.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, with that, who would like to do the recap for this week? Because it has been a little while. And we all
He does.
we all need the reminder.
I think little Rip would like to do the recap.
Well,
I said let him have it.
yeah, it's over here.
Let it rip.
Now, one of you guys got it. Go for it and go.
I wasn't even here last session.
Same. I wasn't here like the past 2 sessions, so not it.
Never got to rewatching it, so.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
You know what's sad?
But
I wasn't even present. And I'm probably the one who remembers the most.
to say all I really remember is Valnar is pissed.
Yeah, I heard the part about Nadon getting choked out
Yeah.
by bitch tits.
Yep. That's all I really remember.
Let's see. I got the major points, I guess. I took a few notes while I was listening on the job. Pretty much we've traveled for a few days since the last during the last session. Most of it was uneventful. The big points are that Valinar double checked the Laputa and everything's still fine. He told us more about his past. I was prodded at from beyond the veil. Told to take notes on this one specifically. Something about a prophecy involving Kalishtar and Kalishtar people and Valinar from his island. And he didn't exactly secure a copy of his holy text, but he'd like to.
I don't think that's exactly what the prophecy was, but
Something along those lines. Like I said, I was working at the same time. And then we found a path of destruction heading eastward through a forested area, with another path going southward towards a clearing. And everybody went towards the clearing, where there was a massive longhouse built out of logs, where we discovered that the fire giants were living at. And we did confirm that those fire giants were the same ones that came from Hofkeen with Fodor. And the guy that answered the door actually pointed us in the direction of where we can find the Laputa. And from what I heard, at the end of last session, we actually saw the Laputa, and we were supposed to be picking up this session, arriving at it.
I mean, that
Works
sounds
for me.
about right for me.
Cool. I do have one question for the DM, though.
Yeah, hit me.
I won't do that, but I will ask. I noticed my character sheet says I have 5 HP missing and a bunch of spell slots. Did I not get a reset for any of those long rests?
I'm pretty sure when I looked at it, it looked like you had a long rest. So I don't know. Plus, not a lot happened. I probably only opened up your character sheet as a means of having access to it if I needed it. The fact that I didn't need it means I probably didn't use it.
Okay, I just refreshed it now. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And we get 13 temporary HP, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Like that's not a me thing. That's a Denoc thing.
That's a Denoc thing. Yeah, I was just throwing it out there. Okay, now I'm caught up.
Okay.
Woohoo!
One
I'm
second
ready
here.
to go.
Sorry, I'm distracting. I'm just distracting the kid.
Distracting your goblin.
One of them.
The goblin likes shinies. See? That sounded like an agreement to me.
Yes, he is getting distracted by a shiny.
Ooh, look, a shiny.
Okay. Yeah, so let me turn on... Actually, you know what? It'd be helpful if I had the DM side of Roll20 open.
Oh,
Lol.
we really are playing it by ear today.
Yeah. All I was gonna do is turn on some background noise, but
Well, we've got plenty of it. We've got the sound of children at play.
there aren't children on the Laputa though. Not really, anyway. There's a few.
None?
There's a
What?
few, but most of them are young. They'd be like
Younger.
late elementary school or newborns.
Wow. Okay.
So
Well,
you're looking.
I guess we need to get. I guess we just need to get booming then.
Well, keep in mind, you guys have a population of like 150, maybe a little bit more. I don't remember the exact numbers.
Maybe it would just be best if we waited till we arrived somewhere where we could set down roots.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, why did you not log in? That was weird. So, you guys arrive, and currently... Actually, I don't remember what time of day it was, so we're gonna say it's like early afternoon. And you guys kind of arrive, and most of the people here are currently doing what looked like repairs to the Laputa, and you can try if you want. Hold on a moment. I can't get anything to load. One moment.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's
boy.
about. Something's got to make the night go big.
I have too many things going right.
Yep.
I'm just looking at all the new features on this page. Woo.
Okay, there it's loading. I haven't had time to really mess with it myself, honestly. It just apparently it did not like where in my tab order that Roll20 was trying to be opened up as. So that's a little odd. So let me see. Do I have... Yeah, this will work. Oh, what was that? Oh,
That's how
thanks for the Prime subscription, Rona.
No problem. I didn't know what that button did, so.
Okay. So yeah, this sound will work. Okay. You guys currently see a lot of the individuals around the Laputa kind of doing repairs on it, and you can kind of see some makeshift hovels and kind of built as like temporary homes kind of around the outside of the Laputa itself. And people don't seem to really pay you any mind as you begin to make your way past the clearing of trees, as you guys have returned to the Laputa.
Oh, hang on, my crystal ball is calling.
Yeah, we're gonna. That didn't happen.
Actually, I don't have a crystal ball. I think that one belongs to Valinar.
Yeah.
It's for you. I think the message said something along the lines of, "I will kill you and all of your friends."
Oh, that
Dang
was
it! I wish you would
friendly.
lose this number.
That's when you tell them wrong number. Click.
Hey, if you die, you can definitely ghost them all you want. All right, so we're finally back.
1 second.
Oh no! Oh, already?
There it is.
Sheesh.
Welcome back.
Well,
everybody.
honestly, I already gave someone else one before we even all started chatting.
Oh yeah, that's true. I remember seeing that, and it wasn't me. Hey, I just
Oh
seek
my
your
goodness,
affection
we've
and
actually
approval,
got channel
Dinock.
points now.
Yeah, we have so many things now, guys. Go nuts.
Woo!
Oh no.
Do I get channel points by sending messages?
Probably.
Whoa.
So,
This is so confusing.
Anyways.
don't worry about it. We're playing D&D.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm easily distracted by shinies.
I know, you can play with it later.
Okay.
You're gonna be a goblin next game, I betcha. You do
Maybe.
that well.
Maybe not.
So, you guys...
Well, looks like not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
It would appear that many of
You
our...
You have keen mind.
Yeah.
Just...
You
just
hate
as
that
a-
fact sometimes.
No. This one actually works in your our favor. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me. With advantage, I'll say.
It would seem that a lot of our previous passengers have chosen new places to live.
How's a 22 sound?
22 sounds great. You would notice that while this place does appear to be somewhat busy and somewhat populated, it appears kind of like almost like a farce in a sense. You gather that unless there is a lot of people kind of remaining within the Laputa itself, there are quite a few people missing.
Oh dear.
I don't want to give numbers because this has always been an abstract population, but I would say, given your mathematical capabilities and your intelligence of 20, I would say you could probably estimate that anywhere from probably 15 to 20% has gone missing, not remains. Gone missing. That should be clarified.
Oh. Only 20% remain. What the fuck happened?
How many look like what percentage would be like guards, mages, that kind of thing? Do we have left?
Having left. The mages seem...
Well, you know what? We can wait until we get inside and get better numbers from reports.
Okay.
Maybe even ask around. I think that's what you literally just said.
Sort of.
Ignore me.
Yeah, so go ahead. You guys have the floor.
Are there any like of the higher ups we left behind visible?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Anyone want to help me?
I'll help out.
Yeah.
I'll look
Great.
as well.
Everybody can make a roll if they wish.
All right, dirty 20.
Uh,
17.
Whoa!
That's
nat 20?
surprising for you.
Whoa!
Nat 20.
Katya literally can't get any better.
Yeah. For a moment, well, actually, I could bend luck if I really wanted to. But for a moment there, I just saw beyond the veil of reality.
I mean, do you want to bend luck and have the best perception of the group, or no?
No. No point.
Okay.
I'm just happy with a nat 20 on my very first roll.
Yeah, fair enough.
And now you're gonna roll like shit for the rest of the
All
night.
downhill from here.
Exactly. We can only go uphill from last session, apparently.
So they're looking around in the immediate vicinity. No, but you do see one individual who looks familiar. You guys don't quite remember if he was an individual that was left in charge, or if he was just kind of like the assistant to somebody who was left in charge. But he looks to be in charge, like he looks to be busy with like overseeing areas of construction, maybe about 150 feet away from you guys, probably closer to the base of the Laputa itself.
Oh, there's someone.
Well, let's go talk to him.
Yeah.
And on the walk over, I would just like to kind of look out for any graves or like grave markers.
Okay. I'll let your 17 roll for this as well. Okay. In the path along the way that you guys are taking to go meet with this individual, and kind of on the outskirts of what is visible, you don't see any graves or grave markers. There is some there is some disturbed and overturned dirt, but most of that looks to be for like farming purposes and not dug graves.
Okay. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, Cat.
And as you guys kind of approach this individual, you can kind of hear him, giving some orders, not anything like super complicated, but more of like more along the things of like, this needs to be placed here, make sure that gets taken off to Sally over off the other side, make sure that tree there gets moved over into this place for support, and he just seems to be kind of giving general orders to kind of control the flow of people.
Hey!
Oh, you know what?
Who are you?
I'm sorry.
And who put you in charge?
There, now stream can actually hear the background audio. For whatever reason, that was muted on... Or not muted, volumed all the way down. It's just city noise, guys.
Alright. So, on approach, I see this guy giving the instructions, and I shout, "Hey! You!
You see
Who
him,
put you in charge?"
You see him almost like jump for a moment, like flinch almost, and you see his hand kind of quickly fall to the hilt of like a rapier on his belt as he kind of turns and he looks and sees you guys. Yep, and he kind of goes, welcome back. Where have you been?
Island over that way, and I point my thumb back towards the previous landmass we just came from.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's been a very disorienting time.
We've been away on holiday. Taking a grand stroll, a nice vacation across the pits of hell that is this surface world.
Yeah, how many times did you get attacked by plants?
I lost count. I stopped counting. I started attacking trees at random just to be safe.
He's gonna roll an insight check on you guys. That's a natural 20.
Wow. Good thing we're not hiding anything, right?
Right? He's just like, what in the hell? Anyway,
You're right. This place is hell.
what?
And I would give nothing more than to get on the ship, on the fortress, and head up.
Jeez,
Eh,
at this
but-
rate,
Looking at numbers, that's not going to be quite so easy, is it? What happened?
I don't know. It will be challenging. He kind of like looks around. Let's walk and talk on the and we'll go inside. Looks around. Wow, my brain stopped for a moment. He's gonna look and kind of call over kind of a half orc man, and he's just kind of be like, Graf, I need you to take over for a minute. Just make sure nobody puts anything in the wrong area, and keep an eye on the stores. I don't want anyone to get any bright ideas while I'm gone. Come this way, guys. Come on. And he's gonna lead you kind of inside of the Laputa, kind of away from the main crowds of people.
By the way, I do want to mention, I just right now realized this. My giant is probably going to be invisible.
That's fine.
his name was Graf.
And
I love it.
That's the half orc that he left in charge. That this man left
Yep.
in charge. He has yet to introduce himself to you guys, but he kind of leads you guys inside and kind of away from the noise, and away from the majority of the people. As you guys enter the Laputa, it is largely empty. There are a few individuals kind of patrolling the inside, but most of them are just doing busy work or carrying things from the outside in, or vice versa. And he kind of begins to lead you guys kind of walking and talking and around the Laputa itself, so that you guys can kind of see and observe the state that the Laputa itself is in. And begins to kind of fill you in on the details of what has transpired. He goes on to say kind of like, well, we have lost a few in a few different means. When we first landed here, there was some altercations with some very large beasts, but we were able to drive them away with the aid of the giants. But shortly afterwards, the giants decided that they were going to leave. Their logic behind it was, if they were in this area, they would hunt the food so scarce that we wouldn't be able to survive. Most of us understood this reasoning, but a lot of people were nervous and afraid because they desired the giants' protection. At that point in time, we did lose a few individuals, a few families who followed the giants. Not necessarily under their wing, but kind of more like in their shadows. Whether or not the giants know that they are nearby or not is unclear. And as he's kind of explaining this, you guys can see as you guys walk by some of the houses that have been built inside of the Laputa. Some of them have kind of fallen into disarray, cobwebs and the dark kind of settlement beginning to kind of produce mold.
As we are walking, at this point, I will pipe up and say, well, we just came from where at least a majority of the giants are settled right now. Don't know if they're going to move anytime soon. But we didn't see any signs of beings of our size anywhere in the area. Just the giant.
Okay. Well. Okay. Hopefully.
But then again, we didn't look too hard, considering we didn't know they were.
Right. Understood. And since then, there have been some more animal beast attacks. Most of them relatively easy to stave off, but we have had a few casualties in those scraps and those mixes. And after a while, we lost a few more families to the thought of us not being able to protect everyone. And so some families and people had begun to think that they'd be better off on their own, or at the very least under a different banner. And so they left.
Where would they go?
My best guess would be either to the north or the east. Both have supplies of water. But I don't know.
What about the state of all of our mages?
We've lost a few mages to battle, and we've lost more to honestly we lost more to the giants than we did anything else. The giant that led them, I'm sorry, I have forgotten his name, the cloud giant, is well versed in magic, and a lot of our mages were captivated by what he could do with magic, and so they followed in an attempt
Melnor?
to Melnor, that sounds familiar. That sounds right.
It was a quick search.
But they found Melnor in order to, as a means of potentially furthering their arcane study and improving their magics. And then we've lost a few to just the idea of being on their own. Currently, our mage situation stands at about maybe a little more than half of what it was when you guys were here last. So the ballpark figure, if you guys had 100 mages, there are about 60-ish left. That's a ballpark figure, so.
I'm going to have to supply most of the remaining magic, aren't I?
Yeah.
Wonder.
Is there any way we could just hook you up to one of the crystals?
Speaking of hooking up, Melnor, the cloud giant Melnor, he had a hypothesis for these crystals. It's an older technique, one that he said that the cloud giants don't even use anymore, but it would be more likely to be usable and by less magically inclined people. Part of the reason why they don't use it anymore is because it's inhumane So, how do I explain this?
What do you mean by less humane?
Well, it's inhumane. He has found, or his people have begun using less inhumane means of powering powering crystals like this for their own fortresses. But that level of technology is beyond what we, and he kind of gestures around him, are currently capable of.
So we would need an alternative no matter what.
Well, and he kind of like looks at you guys and kind of excludes you. You guys are far more powerful than any of us. But I don't know what your capabilities and limitations are.
Neither do I.
He told us about the means of things that we could do with our capabilities. So, with that, you guys know how the magic in the world works vaguely, yes? So every living being has some level of magic within them. Some individuals
Right.
call it power of. We'll call it magic. Others will call it arcana. Others call it mana. It just kind of depends on what culture you're from. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
The process in which he has told us about is taking this mana from the creatures of the forest, ones that we can bind easily: deer, horses, squirrels, etc.
And at that point, Squirrel's gonna poke his head out.
Nope. He doesn't realize it's an undead squirrel and just keeps talking. He kind of continues going on and saying, by extracting their mana and empowering and giving that mana to the harmony crystals, there is a theoretical supply of mana that is not required by spellcasters. The bigger the animal, the more powerful the animal, the more magically inclined the animal, the better they are. Obviously, everything is welcomed given the fact that we are down quite a bit of mages. But
I do have to ask, what's the end result with the creature? Is this draining them of all they have, or is this using some of their energy, removing them, and then taking care of them so that they can be used later?
Well, that would seem to be the most likely scenario. You know, magic users like you and I, it's like a storage container. It's like a bucket of rain.
At the same time, I imagine most of these creatures have.
It depends on the
creatures
skill
have, like,
of
a
the.
glass.
Mhm. It depends on the skill of the practitioner. If the individual is skilled enough to remove some and not all of the mana, the creature could live, depending on its strength, will, and desire to do so.
Recycling it.
But if the practitioner is not very skilled or well practiced in this technique, removal of all of the mana will kill the animal.
And how skilled are our members?
There is nobody here with that level of experience.
So most of it's just been capture, drain it for all it's worth, and then use probably the remains of the body for food.
Ooh, that is a good idea.
That has been the intent so far. There has been a couple of successes with individuals being able to pull mana from the creature and supply it to a harmony stone. However, currently we have been using smaller harmony stones to with this technique in order to kind of help with the reconstruction of the Laputa and the surrounding area, given the fact that currently we do not have any plans to return to Hofking. Since we didn't have those plans, we weren't necessarily looking for the results in the massive harmony crystals that power the Laputa themselves, or itself. But
It stands to reason that we would need someone of that kind of skill to be able to recycle said animals, then, if we are going to go down this route, because it's not so easy to acquire forest creatures when you're several miles above the surface.
That's where the inhumane part comes in.
We have delegated a few of the looks around him abandoned houses here as storage units for some creatures, and have in others we have kind of begun reproduction with.
Breeding. Yes.
Yes,
That is a good point.
Believe it or not, there are things on the surface such as chickens and even the occasional cow.
Rabbit?
Yes, rabbits are plentiful here.
Would it be inhumane if we used rats?
I don't know. That I think kind of depends on the individual's preference. But you would need a lot of rats. Like a lot.
Yes, they don't have much magic individually.
But a whole ball of rats, though.
What are you planning?
Well,
I'm just throwing ideas out there.
well ironically enough, a lot of the forest creatures here actually obtain a surprising amount of mana due to the fact of the way that they have been mutated over the centuries. But it's still nowhere near as much as, say, for example, what you guys would have as raw mana.
Hey, Dinok, what if we were to use this method temporarily to move the Laputa from here over to On's domain and see if he might have some way to help us out?
I mean, there comes a time where we end up relying too much on a source.
And as a reminder, the Harmony Stones are a joint project between On and Scientia. Technically, they are her creation, and he distributed them across the world.
And so he would know how best to power them, maybe even providing us creatures of great magical capacity.
He distributed them across the world. He didn't create them. Scientia created them.
He literally took them from her and just shoved them in the ground. That's all he did.
Yep, pretty much.
Fair.
And then just made sure that they were discovered around the world as a means of human survival.
So if we truly wish to learn anything of these crystals, we would need to specifically find Scientia herself. I suppose that's just another thing on the list of things to ask her when we find her.
Well, remember, you guys have I don't want to say an agreement, but a means of contacting her after you get rid of Torben. Because she agreed to take a look at your wife. But she can't. But she can't currently get to Hofkeen as it is currently a lesser individual's domain, and she cannot enter that domain without an invitation.
How long has it been since the last time we used the Boon of Knowledge?
Above game, to be honest, I've not been keeping very good tabs on that.
Should be.
According
I
to
thought it was on your character sheet.
Yeah, and I keep forgetting to update it every time we long
The
rest.
last time we used it, we were still in the tunnel, I think.
yes, it was session 110 is the last entry I have about the Boon of Knowledge at all.
And you guys were in the
And
you guys were in the tunnels.
We were in the tunnels.
Yeah.
We used
Heading
it once.
to this island.
Yes, we used it once. At the very beginning of the tunnels, and then after the week of travel, we did it. We asked a second question about the Illithid Elder.
Right. So you guys would have used it right before entering Chimera Heights.
Correct. And we've traveled what 3 or 4 days at least.
You guys were at Chimera for a day, and then you guys traveled. Hold on. Gotta get my ruler here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah.
8.
Yep, it is fully recovered.
9. So yeah, you guys have traveled about 10 days then, so you should have one use of it. We'll say it's close enough that you have one use of it.
Well, then perhaps we should use the Boon of Knowledge to determine, to see if we could find Scientia, if not a place to speak directly to her.
That
Just
is up
trying
to
to
you
think
guys.
trying to think of how to word that.
I guess, why are you wanting to speak to Scientia? It is possible that you could just ask the question you have for her of the boon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and then he said that, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He's-
That's a good point.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying, if we could find Scientia, we could ask her specifically, and maybe she could provide her own power source.
Again, that'll be after we kick poor bitch's ass.
All right, I forgot about that part.
He just said it.
Sorry.
I mean, you could potentially find her before trying to kill Torben, but that would...
It'd be hard.
That could potentially be much longer. Because, keep in mind, you guys are currently directly below Hofkeen. You have no idea where Scientia is, and how many days, months it would take you to get there. And you guys are also on a timetable to prevent the islands from collapsing or falling themselves.
Right.
I haven't put a lot on your guys' plate at all.
No, not at all. Well then, perhaps use the boon to ask our best means of reaching Hofking again.
Knowing the boon as I do, having used it several times, is more than likely just going to tell us use the Laputa to go straight up.
Bit on the nose.
Well,
How do we
you said-
power the Laputa with missing mages?
there we go. That's probably a better question.
Is it just going to show us ourselves, though?
Probably.
Considering we are probably outside of certain entities, and I look to Valinar specifically, your bitch and my bitch,
Yep.
plus a few other things. We're probably some of the most powerful magic users this world has seen in multiple millennia.
2,000 years, maybe?
Maybe longer? I'm not sure. Before the
Maybe
rise,
it's
there's...
just the rise.
Yeah, more than likely. There's probably been stronger than us before, but as we don't have much...
Sorry, I just had to laugh because I know what above game exists for for my other campaign.
Yep.
Anyway,
I know you've got multiple level 20 characters as lesser members of guilds.
I wouldn't say lesser
boy.
members.
Oh, there.
Look. So in my other campaign, there are that I run for Rom and some other friends back home that is connected to the preamble of this world, if you would. There are entities known as calamities. They are calamity classed warriors, meaning they are individuals of calamity level capable of calamity level destruction by themselves. So they are quite literally walking natural disasters. And all of them are level 20 plus characters by D&D logic and standards.
Yep.
So you're looking at, think of having 20 levels in Wizard with an additional 5 to 10 levels of Sorcerer. Or of another class. That's just an example. So that's effectively what the these calamity warriors are, which makes them extremely deadly.
Yep, but there's been no strict there's been no strict mention of them yet that we have found in this world.
Correct.
So
Well,
that's what I'm trying to get around.
I had to laugh because I know I know what you mean. So anyway, back to the question that you're thinking of asking the boon.
Sounds like hooking Denock up to a crystal might not be too far-fetched
Boy.
at this point. Hey, better you than me. Do you know what would happen if we hooked my twisted self up to that crystal?
You want to find out?
I've got too many thoughts on that one.
We might end up blowing everything up.
Yes. Near limitless source of power, no control over it.
We might just end up inverted.
Sorry, Genie. From Aladdin is what.
Oh, yeah.
reminded me of.
phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty living space. I love that one.
Anyway, question. Or the question, I guess I should say.
Okay, let me type this out so that
You guys also don't have to ask it right now. You could take a little while before asking the question.
It would be nice to sleep in my bed for a change. Assuming we don't have to completely
turning
tidy
to
up the
the
place.
guard.
Mhm.
So, other than yourself for supplies and such, who's in charge currently?
There's been a lot of changes in the hierarchy. I honestly, I currently oversee a lot of the goings-ons here. There are a few others that help, but they tend to be more in charge of hunting and guards. Are you saying something, Valinar?
No,
Okay, sorry. I thought I was hearing something coming from you.
no, you're good. Well, you may have heard my
So-
computer fan.
No?
So, as of
That's
this
weird
moment,
enough.
you are more than likely the highest individual outside of us.
Yeah.
I think we found our new battery.
Oh, hell no. All right. Then what is your full name?
Oh, I'm sorry, how rude of me. I'm Jack Whipplestein.
Above game.
Jack, what?
Wimplestein.
Wimplestein. All right.
I'm sorry. Did I make a reference that I don't understand, or are you just laughing?
Yeah,
at
I don't get it
Wimplestein?
either. Maybe it's the whip part.
No, that's just you.
A bit of both. I made a reference that I don't understand. Neat.
Sweet.
Also, the name is just hilarious.
I honestly have no idea where it came from. It kind of just fell out of my mouth.
Well, okay. Well then, Mr. Wimplestein.
Oh, please, Jack is fine.
All right, I suppose I can understand that. Then, as of this moment, you are second in command officially outside of our group. When
Make an insight check for me, all of you, if you want to.
He's
That should be
acting
fun.
kind of odd. Sure, why not?
that tracks at this moment. Nat
23.
1 for a 2.
Natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta make up for lost
Awesome.
time, you know.
Okay, fair enough.
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
And hey, you only rolled one set of dice this time.
Nice.
She did that last time, guys.
Wow.
Also, you're
Dinak-
still muted.
Dinak, you continue to just go about continuing to talk with her, talk to him, not
Jack.
really noticing. And Balinar, Katya, and Asta, all three of you kind of just watch as this man kind of like goes incredibly tense, like locks every muscle in his body, like clenches, and you can just see this overwhelming look of panic cross over his eyes for a moment before he just basically passes out on his feet before this heavy sigh leaves his body, and he kind of goes back to being attentive towards Dinak. He is conscious. He's not like passed out. He just like you guys watch this process. He pretty clearly doesn't enjoy having that level of responsibility, but he does understand that it is necessary.
Ironic, considering the amount of duties he has taken upon himself.
He did what he had to survive.
And
now
therefore, he
he's
has been
regretting
promoted.
it.
Yes. There are some benefits that come with being in charge.
Of course, I was just getting to that.
Oh.
Including massive pay raise. After all, you will have to deal with us and our insanity on the regular basis. Which
You
in
may,
of its- which
you
in of
may wish to
itself
catch
is
him because I think he's about to pass out from all the excitement.
Hold on,
Oh.
I gotta write down that you guys are apparently paying the members of your Laputa.
I was just thinking. I don't think we're paying them.
Yeah, we are. We had to pay them to get onto the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were paid for by the island that hired them, sent them with us.
Kind of. What is that?
Whoa.
Okay, that was neat.
Was that from your end?
Not on my end. I wonder if that was blind.
That was probably me. What was it?
That. It was that.
By the way, hello, Blind.
Hello.
We now have the Blind Squared party.
Yeah. They're on the same mic, so it's fine. But
Oh, but they're here.
yeah, they've been here.
Been here just
Yeah, there's also no point in Xenos inciting these individuals or anything like that because he has no effing clue what is going on.
That's what I think.
So, thank you for the responsibility. How about my wife and I treat the group of you to lunch? It is about lunch. Time to eat. And you guys must be famished after traveling all day. Yeah, and we can kind of talk about further plans over dinner. Lunch, whatever you call it.
I was starting to wonder what that strange emptiness inside of me was.
Oh, you mean besides your lack of soul?
Oh, I have
Not a-
plenty of soul. I probably have more soul than anybody else in this party.
Claudia,
Balinar
except
looks
for
at
this
him.
what was that about more soul, Claudia?
Or this one. And I
I've-
point to Tim, who suddenly materializes next to me. He's
Jack
also-
passes out. Well, no, the reason why
I have legit died and come back from beyond. Therefore, I am the most soul here.
While that's going on,
By the way,
Balnor's gonna get a
again-
bucket of water and throw it on Jack.
well,
okay,
before that,
he doesn't actually pass out. It's just
real.
funny.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because I was literally going to roll for Tim to catch him.
Oh, I thought all this was happening above game. all this
No.
conversation about souls. Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, no, he passes out. That's a natural 1.
All right, Dex for cat.
Well,
Sure.
6.
I'll say like it's so. This is what happens. Tim like begins to materialize, and like the moment the head of the giant appears out of thin air, Jack like passes out, and as you command Tim to catch him, Tim reaches down, and you can see like in slow motion as his body is still beginning to like wave materialize, and his hand gets behind Jack, and you watch as Jack just passes through the hand right before the hand becomes material and to the floor. Not enough to hurt
Oops.
himself, but just not fast enough.
And Enoch says, "Oops."
anyone got some water?
Also, the reason why I say that's the reason why I said Valadar looks at Katya, because while your argument of dying and coming back is a valid one, the whole premise of a Kalishtar is effectively 2 souls in 1 body.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway,
That's jacked up.
I still don't know who my passenger is. He just scares me.
careful, he might become the host.
Oh no.
I think I like tried something at one point. I felt something that felt something that freaked him out, and just kind of went, "Nope, we're not doing that again."
Is
Been
it
a
a he
while,
or
I
a
just-
she?
I'd have to look back at it.
Don't know.
So, you guys take a minute or two to wake Jack up. And after explaining to him the situation, he goes, "Oh, okay, I understand. I was not prepared for that one today. Lunch."
Sounds good to me.
Food. And he'll begin to lead you to his quiet abode with his wife. As he kind of walks in, he kind of announces loudly.
By the way, Tim is back
boisterous.
invisible.
Yeah, I figured. Kind of enters and kind of loudly boasts and announces just, "Honey, I'm home, and I've brought some guests for dinner. Would you please mind make a few extra plates?" "Of course, dear. Who have you brought?" "Okay, then. Well, it has been some time. If I remember correctly, it's Valinor, Dinok, Katya?"
Yes.
Okay, and the other 2, I don't know who the F you are.
Wow. Even though Asta's been with us since the beginning.
Asta was not with you from the beginning. Asta
No, not
joined
from the
you in-
beginning, but
joined you in Hofkeen when the giants
right!
arrived.
Oh my lord, it's been a while.
So they don't know who Asta is.
They never met Asta. That's right. Oh my lord, it's been a while.
Xeno, I am Xenos. I am taking the place of the old big one.
I was going to ask what happened to Cardin.
He stayed behind on the
Yep.
previous landmass we were on.
I thought she was about to say, I was wondering what happened to John.
Technically, that one too.
Yeah.
Yes, John.
John was with us when we got to Hofkeen, and then I have other things to do, and then we never saw him again. And how much you want to bet he's been looking for us this whole time now? Like, where did they go?
The DM smiles. A non-sinister smile.
Hmm.
Well, of course. Well, make yourselves at home. If you need anything, feel free to let either me or my husband know. We can definitely help you get whatever it is you need while you are here. And I will prepare some extra plates for lunch here. And if you need anything, please. My name is Diane.
Diane?
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's not foreshadowing.
It's a reference, and if you don't get it, you're an idiot. But if you need anything, go ahead.
I'm an idiot then.
Think about the husband's name and her name. But if you need me, I'll be in the kitchen.
I don't get it, but okay.
Jack and Diane.
Nope.
Alrighty then. It's just me then.
Yep.
All alone. Nobody here besides me. Anyway, you guys are left to effectively tea with Jack.
Tea? I thought it was eat.
I think she's getting the food.
In case you didn't know, but food takes time to make. Tea is
Oh,
usually ready
right.
to go and is a beverage to kind of entertain guests with.
Yeah. I thought you fast forwarded.
Nope.
Okay. I'm not on the ball tonight, as you can tell, but I'm also taking notes on the side, so I'm not getting every little detail.
And it doesn't have to be perfect notes.
No, I mean I meant like I missed some of the things that you actually say. That and my wife walking in and out of the room, and still thinking about that Jack and Diane thing.
It's from a song.
Is
Guess-
that the name of a song? The song?
Not the name of the song.
Maybe I never heard this song. Who's it by?
Journey.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there's also an actual song called Jack and Diane by John Cougar.
Mm-hmm. It's a very popular song. How do you guys not? Or was
It's
a very
more along the
popular
lines
song.
of. It's more along the lines of. One, how many years ago did it come out?
12.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that might explain why.
I think it's this one anyway.
I mean, if it's a well-known song, I'd probably recognize it if I heard it.
Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Before we spend a full hour on this.
Distracted by shinies. Okay, well, we'll just sit down for a spot of tea then, while we wait for food.
Okay. Is there anything you guys wish to talk with Jack about?
Mostly just
Catching up.
supply numbers, general composition of what remains, like exactly how many guards.
Oh, wait a minute. I might have been wrong on the song, on the band name, but that's beside the point.
Hmm.
Is it John Mellencamp?
I'd have to pull it up again. Hold on, but yeah, go ahead and keep.
We're still going on about it.
Go ahead and talk to Jack. What do you guys want to talk to Jack about?
What type of tea is being served to us?
In this particular area, it'd probably be like spearmint.
Ooh.
Heh.
I do enjoying myself this spearmint tea. It keeps the breath nice and fresh.
It's okay. It's no peppermint, but it's all right.
Dina shrugs.
It's not coffee.
What's the matter? You can't tell the difference between different teas.
No, it's not that. It's just. Honestly, I've.
You've got other things on the mind. Are you
Yeah.
excited to be able to return home? Finally kick Torben off of his throne?
Well, to do that, again, we need to figure out things. And outside, I really do feel like we should not rely on the boon of knowledge for something like this. This is more along the lines of just something we, as our group, need to figure out. And leave the boon for things that that are more among the
Unknowable?
esoterical.
Well, it sounds to me like they've already been making plans for the use of animals as a power source. By breeding and maintaining a supply of them, not only for energy for Laputa, but also energy for themselves.
Yes,
as-
we just need to.
As a clarification, because remember Jack is in the room, it's a means of powering some devices to help with the reconstruction. And in terms of breeding animals, well, we like meat, and so
Fair.
having a surplus of animals is always a positive thing, at least with the animals that we know can be docile, tamed, etc. But for example, here is a simple design that we have, and he will kind of walk to a shelf in this room and kind of pull what is what looks to be like a small cup made of like clay. And he brings it over and he kind of sets it in front of you guys and he kind of goes, so with this, you can see on the bottom, and he will turn it over, that the bottom of the cup, you guys like know how like on most of the bottoms of the cups have like a little lip?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is actually like sealed and filled in with what is like a sliver of harmony stone. It is not, and it's kind of smooth, flat bottom. And he kind of goes, we took this idea, this principle, and practiced it on a small scale, you see. And so by channeling energy from a small creature, or by channeling magic into the stone, the stone gives some lift and flight to the cup.
Interesting.
I can demonstrate. And he'll begin pulling a cantation into the air, and gives forces it into the stone itself.
Nice.
It's a
So I just
cantrip.
rolled Arcana. I know, but I'm just checking to see how the magic is integrating into the crystal. And that was a natural 20, by the way, for a 30.
Yeah, I'm going to. Sorry, I was not expecting a 30 check. I'm trying to pull up a list of
Oops.
cantrips.
Well, I'm not so much looking at the spell that's being used. I'm just
Yeah,
seeing
but
what the magic is doing to.
But the type of spell that he is using because of the cantrip will determine the effectiveness.
Oh,
Enchantment.
that's a new.
Depending on what cantrip he is using. I'm just trying to look for a basic cantrip. It's just everything's being a little slow.
Of course.
What would he have that would make sense?
Friends.
No.
Light.
I was actually
Mending.
thinking of that. I'm actually thinking light.
So now it's a glowstone as well.
No.
Dang. Shocking grasp.
No, it would just be light. And that is evocation magic. And because of that, it does seem to fight the stone a little bit. Like you watch as as the stone absorbs it, but it doesn't absorb a full potential of it. Like Dinak, you're familiar with cantrips and the limitations of what they hold and the power that they can hold as well. And you would estimate that the stone itself potentially only absorbs about 80% of the cantrip. The rest of it is lost due to forcing it within the stone itself. But as the cantrip is channeled into the stone kind of glows that faint blue color that it gives off when the stones are being powered, and you watch as this small cup begins to float and hover about 4 to 6 inches off the table in front of him. And it just kind of floats there for a little while. And he kind of goes, we took this element of it and then applied it to larger scales to lift buckets, wheelbarrows, large supplies that we need to get up higher.
And how many times did it
and things like that
cause problems, such as running out quickly or, in general, not reacting like you should?
Only in the beginning did it kind of create problems, and that was kind of an expected trial and error. No real harm came from it, but there were a few injuries, but nothing major.
Because from what I saw just now, you didn't get the full spell into the crystal.
He kind of looks at it and kind of puzzled, and I don't understand it. It seems to be working fine.
Yes, but most of the magic did go into the crystal correctly, but some of it evaporated as it didn't integrate with the stone fully. May I see the cup?
Oh, yes,
I mean,
of course. And
that makes it.
And he kind of just pushes it on it, and it kind of just floats towards you, I mean,
Just a hovering item.
I mean, yeah, kind of like kind of like pushing a something in space.
Or like when you're playing air hockey.
Yeah.
Making sure this is an empty cup, correct?
Yep.
Okay, turning it over.
It is
Enoch
now.
will just channel the magic of a mind sliver in, which is enchantment.
Ooh, okay.
And then just kind of
Okay, so this one's actually going to be a little complicated. Go ahead and make another Arcana check for me.
I doubt I'm gonna get another nat 20, so this is gonna be fun.
Mhm.
I mean, 22 is still not bad.
Bad, not bad.
No, not at all. You estimate that the stone at the bottom of on the bottom of the cup now has effectively has 100% capacity in turn or fulfillment, I guess.
Mhm.
However, you also kind of realize in the moment that your spell, only about 30% of it was absorbed, as the rest of the magic within the crystal wasn't dispelled,
Drained.
or used. But you would notice that it seemed to have slipped in easier.
Mm-hmm.
How much easier, you're unable to make that estimate because of not being at 0 when applying the magic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more cups like this?
Not in this room.
How about other objects? Just anything.
I'm sure I could acquire some. Why?
I may not understand magic as well as the Denoch, but
I
there
actually
is.
have to beg to differ because you're a turkey and took expertise in Arcana.
I still don't believe it is. I
I
still
know.
don't believe I
I
understand
know.
it quite as well.
Mechanically,
But
I have to disagree with you, but I understand the roleplay.
but I have a theory of my own using a different type of magic that may
Enoch
work
will look
as well.
at you with an eye ridge raised.
What about
Well,
transmutation?
that one.
You see, the idea would suggest that you can convert magic from one form into another, therefore making it the ideal type of magic to place within these crystals, because it was conform to the capacity required. Right?
In theory, it definitely could work. But again, that's something that we would need to test.
Correct.
I'm a little confused on what the point of the testing would be for.
Mostly to determine what would be the best kind of magic to power the crystals for the. In other words, get more bang for your buck.
After all, you don't want to be taking. Let's just use Patia's idea of a rat. You don't want to waste a rat and only have, say, 20% of the magic actually work, and the rest of it just go.
Why use 20% of rat when you can use 100% of rat?
Or anything more, such as any being with natural magic in it.
Well, the same applies to people as well. If you're going to
Well,
be
we're not going there.
well, I know that, but what I'm saying is if you're going to work yourself all day powering a crystal, you want to use the magic that's the most efficient, so you didn't waste any effort.
True.
Well, this is a. How do I explain? This was a example of the magic.
Being used to float minor things, yes.
Yes.
I understand that.
Well, no, sorry. It is if I used more powerful magic, it would float for longer. Given the fact that this is only a brief demonstration, I didn't see the need to cause it to float for a long period of time. If I used higher levels of a higher circle of magic to force into the crystal itself, I could just use the magic without transcribing it into or without converting it into a spell format, giving it just raw mana. It's not. I've seen you, and he'll indicate to you, Denoc. I've seen you do this before. The first time when you helped power the Laputa, you didn't necessarily cast spells, but you casted your magic of the various circles within to the crystals themselves. That is how we had been powering the crystals up until this point. However, given the fact that this was only for a short period of time, I chose to use something that would not drain me. Does that make sense? I don't wish to.
But I suppose it just tickled the scientific experimenter in me.
Hmm.
An idea popped into my head. What if instead of just the 100% you get from just raw magic, what if there's a school of magic that does more than 100%? It is so compatible with these stones.
That would certainly explain why the archmage, whatever he was called, was able to maintain that all the harmony stones lifting.
Isris?
Thank you. That's one island.
I am not sure, but if this is something you wish to test, by all means. And he will get up and he will procure, we'll say, a dozen or so various tools affixated with harmony stones, most of them being cups or saucers in nature.
Yeah. Real quick before we get started, Valnar's just gonna kind of like raise his hand and go, "Before we start using magic, do you want me just to ask the Archmage?"
And Denoc will just kind of slap his forehead.
You do have that power of sending.
And it is somebody.
Yeah, the only question is if he'll respond back by saying, "Now you owe me money" or something.
Ooh.
Well, at the same time...
Or, well, no, I think I know what he'll do. He'll respond
That's
back by saying, "Next time you're here, you owe me a scroll of this."
Pretty much.
And of course, I will help you with that.
Yeah. Well, Valnar's going to use sending to ask the Archmage if there's any specific school of magic he uses to power the crystals.
Okay. You are met with the response of, "Who? What? Valinar? I understand that it is you, but yet I do not see you. Or sense your..." That's probably about 25 words.
You hear Valnar just kind of go, "Damn it! Here we go again." And he's going to cast sending again and go, "You have 25 words. No, I'm not actually there."
And turning to Jack, Denoc will say, "Lost magics. Most people don't understand what's going on. So 2 to 3 casting is usually what we use for inducting new people to this network."
Mm-hmm. He kind of, Valinar, you get a response of, "Fascinating. It's like long-distance messaging."
No shit. I mean, didn't we have to create a spell scroll of message for him?
Yep. He kind of continues with, wonder if I can recreate this myself. Probably not. So I want a scroll. I can tell you then. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be his 25. Like without counting on my
God
fingers.
damn it! We still don't have the answer.
You know, the time it's taking you to mess around with this, we could have just done all of our experiments and figured it out on our own.
Probably, and I would like to
12
point out he
seconds
already
have passed.
asked for the scroll.
12 seconds have passed, by the way.
God.
Because I'm pretty sure sending is an action.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is too. Where is it? Yes, it is an action.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll get you a scroll when we're next there. What school of magic do you use to power the crystals?
Excellent. I look forward to your arrival. In terms of schools of magic, enchantment works best, but typically I just powered using raw mana.
Okay. Okay. And so okay, player brain just farted for a second. He said transmutation.
Enchantment.
I did.
Enchantment.
Enchantment.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Player brain farted. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'll relay that back to him. He said enchantment works the best, but he generally just uses raw magic.
Well, no. Taking 2 cups empty of magic, I will fill one with just mana,
Okay.
just magic,
No
no spells.
Well, in order to
And-
fill it with mana, you'll have to mark off at least a first level spell slot. Does that make sense? That was why Jack used cantrips.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if you mark off a first level spell slot, you fill it with mana. If you make an Arcana check to see how well it fills, and I'll say anybody can help with this if they want.
Let me
Actually,
help.
what I was going to say is, if I spend more, can I just say I did the spend extra time for
Tell you
to
what.
not have to roll?
Tell you what. Your goal is to determine how well mana versus enchantment, magic, and probably other schools correlate with one another. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. We will
Mhm.
go ahead and we'll say, go ahead and mark off. Oh shoot! How many different schools of magic are there?
Well, right now, I just want to figure
Let's see.
raw magic
Duration,
versus enchantment
location,
only.
transmutation,
Oh, okay.
illusion.
Go ahead and just mark off then 2 of the first level spell slots, and go ahead and make an Arcana check. And given the fact that you're taking time, I will add a bonus to whatever your roll is, and let you know the result.
There are 8 schools of magic.
Okay.
Abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, and transmutation.
All right. Let's pray I don't get a nat 1.
On a
That
roll.
was great, but a 19 is still pretty good.
So, what I'll say is, if you want to spread out the distribution here, I'll have Dinok, Valinar, and Katya, and I'll say Jack all expend 2 first level spell slots, and you guys will cover all of the bases of the schools, which will give you more information. If you guys are okay with that.
I mean, it's up to
Okay.
them.
Sure.
Okay. So everybody marks off those 2 spell slots. Jack does as well. What Sorry, I just saw the message in Discord. So with that, you're actually going to get a relatively high bonus to this, okay? Your and the reason why I say that is because I'm giving you a bonus for taking time, which is a pretty decent bonus. And you're getting a bonus for every school of magic. So in total, you're getting a plus 18 to your roll.
37. All right.
So you learn quite a few things. One, enchantment magic tends to translate at about a 99-ish%. Okay. It is the only school that scores that high. The only other school that comes close is transmutation. Transmutation absorbs about 90 to 95, depending on the knowledge of the caster, is what you have kind of determined that variable to be. The rest of the schools of magic all kind of do about the same otherwise, and it's about 80-ish%. With the exception, in addition to of necromancy. Necromancy is actually an antithesis magic, so it actually does far less, absorbing only about half.
Ooh.
And what about the raw mana?
Raw mana actually transfers 100%.
Oh.
However, rolling with your total above 35, Denoc, you have this hypothesis that if you could somehow transmute your magic or combine it with another caster to both generate mana and enchanting the mana with an enchantment spell into the crystal could potentially provide or exceed the 100% of that translation. You would definitely have to experiment with it, and you're not sure if it would work on such a minor scale.
But it's definitely an idea to start thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
We might need a much bigger crystal to test this on.
So again, 2 casters, one providing
Raw mana, one providing enchantment magic. Potentially could exceed the 100% threshold. Potentially. Again, experimentation, things like that.
So, if this theory proves to be correct, then we could actually have the output of all of our mages with half as many. So even though we're missing almost half of our current staff, we could still get the same magic output if everybody worked as a pair instead of as just individuals.
Well, at the same time, this is just an idea, just spitballing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how much more it will do.
Exactly. It could be 101%, or it could be 120, or 150, or 200.
I was literally saying that to Katya.
If we could reach the 150% limit, then that's all we would need in order to. I mean, even with 130 or 140% limits, we would be.
Well, at the same time, that is roughly 70% lost, because then
Using 2 spells.
Yes.
Not exactly. The way that you just described it, I believe you said something along the lines of only one is channeling raw mana, the other is just converting it. Which means the one who is doing the conversion doesn't have to be using their all of their power to do so. And if we went with the previous idea of using animals as the power source, they would provide the raw mana, and we would just need mages to use to do conversion, which doesn't use as much power as providing the energy yourself.
Well, at the same time, either we get an extremely renewable source of creatures, or I spend some time and figure out how to keep the creatures alive. That way we can reuse them.
If only we could find some way to make these crystals work powered off of necromantic energy entirely.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Or another idea, if a certain special hunter around here happened to know of, I don't know, some special quarry in the air in this area that is a near limitless source of power that we could procure.
That wouldn't squish us flat with one misstep.
Oh, come on. We have the power to almost completely detain any sort of creature.
Need I remind you what we just saw passing us a few nights ago?
I said almost any creature, not everything. Obviously, I wouldn't want to take on your Tarask.
It might be fun. It will be a good hunt.
Once.
So, on the one hand, if you ever say that on the island, you will be condemned for blasphemy.
What about that?
As
What about that large beast we fought a few days ago? It seemed to have some. I mean, all living creatures have some level of mana within them, but that one was able to create stone on its skin from nothing, which suggests a higher output of magic energy.
well, also look at what we went through to put it down. And trying to capture something is much harder than trying to simply kill something.
True, because you had to continue to keep them sedated. But it's a real shame you were unable to locate the source of its power. Certainly make all of this easier, because then we know how it was generating that and what organ, and then we wouldn't need the creature itself, but rather its power source. There are so many factors. So
It's
much
about
to
this
think about.
time- It's about this time Diane walks in and kind of goes, lunch is served. And as you guys begin to prepare to eat, we're going to take a break here.
Okay.
Because I think it's a good point for a break, and I feel like we could use a little bit of a break to kind of,
Rest our brains.
Percolate.
yeah.
Whew.
So we'll be right back in a few minutes, guys. All right, we're back. So, with
Whoop,
this,
whoop, whoop.
unless there's anything you guys want to talk to Diane about, we're just going to skip lunch, and you guys are free to do what you wish at the Laputa.
Well, other than, is it tasty?
Yeah, it's good. You know, it's not going to be like, it's not like, you know, it's not
World
like
class.
it's not like the oh my god, please bed me now kind of tasty, but it's this is good.
Wow.
It's not Food Wars tasty.
Correct.
Oh God.
Wars tasty. Let's fucking go.
Anyways,
Well, then I'm off to the library because I have some things I'd like to research. Dinok has given me so many ideas.
Okay. You go to the library of the Laputa. And what is everyone else going to do?
well, basically, Dinok's just going to kind of be scrawling notes and just being like, well, if I do this, that, and the other, well, then this factor, no, that wouldn't work. But this is an idea, maybe not. He's kind of percolating on the idea. Various idea.
Mhm.
Well, Valmar's going to leave Dinok to it, and he's just going to kind of see essentially where he can help.
Okay. So, there's not a ton that you can do to help at the moment, Valinar. Mainly
Okay.
your best things is going to be like helping lift things, casting mending, maybe healing a broken thumb. It's very. It's going to be more of things, more along the lines of things that like Cardin would have done, but he's not here, but that's where the most demand is at the moment, is like physical labor.
Um,
and repairing
I
things.
I would say Tim.
If you want to try.
A lot of people gonna have to be changing their pants today.
To talk to tomatoes.
What?
What?
Hmm?
You said if you want to try. So I said if you talk
gosh.
Oh.
I thought it was if you like to talk to
Well, that
tomatoes.
show in a long time.
You didn't even quote it
Okay,
right.
nice.
Yeah,
but
probably. It's been a while.
Basically, I would tell Tim to follow Valinar's orders.
Easy enough, I would say. It's okay. Most of them are wearing brown pants today.
It just happens to be the work uniform.
Sure. They're
For
not
this reason.
they're just not that dirty at all.
At all.
So, but yeah, between Valinar and Tim, some progress is made around the Laputa in terms of repairs. Dinok, you can spend as much time scribbling and scrawling as you want. Xenos and Asta, I am imagining that you're going to spend some time exploring and sightseeing the Laputa as you have never been on it before.
Yes, Xenos would wonder if he actually has a room on here or not.
It is Cardin's old room, probably.
Copy that.
But
A very similar design aesthetic.
can the two
Not
of you
really.
roll survival checks for me, though?
I would have Cardin's stuff moved, so Xenos has, fresh room.
Okay. That's easy enough to do. Can Xenos and Asta make survival checks, though?
Xenos is 17, Asta's 14.
Okay, good. You guys don't get lost on the ship.
Good.
But you guys explore. There's not a lot to really take in and see from the Laputa itself. It's mostly a very basic construction, designed to house people and animals. It is a massive fortress that was once very clearly used by giants that has been converted to being useful for humanoids of a smaller variety. So,
Good. It means we have a base of operations then.
yep.
That's
But in the meantime, while that's happening, Katya, you find yourself at the library. What is
Woohoo!
it that you are looking for?
There are a couple things. First of all, I want to continue to expand on Denox's theories and see if I can't find anything relating to the use of magic and harmony stones as a primary. The secondary is the thing that I discussed with you the other day.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll.
That I'm trying to keep it somewhat.
I guess go ahead and roll
on the down low.
investigation.
Investigation. Oh no. 4.
Do you wish to affect that in any way, shape, or form?
I'm looking.
Tides of Chaos. The other thing.
Chaos to give myself advantage. Yeah, I'll do Tides of Chaos.
Cool.
Let me roll that one again.
Yep, and then afterwards roll a d100.
Shit.
This is where we lose the library.
Oh my god, but that was so
A
going to be a
10's not much better, but
Well, hold on. Are you going to add your d4?
I'll go ahead and bin look. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mark
Sorcerers,
off those
man, they have
points.
a way of increasing, well, quite a bit actually, if you do it right.
D4.
There you go.
Okay,
14.
so that's now
not bad.
14.
That's not bad.
As for the D100, 31. Let me see here.
31. What do we have
Oh
in store
God,
today?
no.
What do we have in store today?
No.
Okay.
Suppression. Please be successful at this one. Oh, you've got to be shitting me.
I'm pretty sure that's a failure. What is your proficiency bonus?
5.
So yeah, that is a failure. Oh, let's put this evil on somebody else. Any volunteers?
evil.
One of the blinds then roll a d4.
Well, I said.
Oh, I didn't.
said.
Sorry.
Oh.
It's all right. Next time. All right. So, Katya,
Yeah.
you lose all proficiency in all of your skills for the next 2 days.
Yep.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
That's a shit time.
Yeah, but fortunately, you're not like in Hofkeen or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, on the bright side though, with a 14 on your investigation check, you do find some information. One, there is no information that you can discover about the Harmony Stones within this library. Although, now that I think about it, I have another question for you. Do you speak Giant?
I don't think I do.
Then you actually don't understand any of the text in here.
Yeah. Yeah, nope, I do not.
Do you have comprehend languages or tongues or?
I don't
Nope,
think I
those
do.
are- but that's it.
That's it.
Then don't. Then honestly, you wouldn't find anything because there wouldn't be anything here. You would basically. Are you talking to them? Yeah, I guess they came back to join me.
No ability to read giant. So that's great.
I will say basically
Oh!
you find an area.
Hmm.
What?
Polymorph only transforms me into beasts.
Yeah. Sorry.
Dang. But what if it's a beast that understands giant?
Most beasts don't even speak common, so. Hey, come
I'll
on.
do a little bit of research in the background.
So there are you basically find the area that looks like kiddo, leave it alone. Leave it alone. You basically find an area that looks to be we hear you, kid. Everyone hears you. You're fine. Basically, it looks to be the area of like
Nope.
religion, but you can't make anything else out other than that. I'll say.
Yeah. No giant.
Sorry.
Oh well. I tried. I forgot everything was written in giant. Dang it.
Yeah, there are a few tomes that have been translated, but most of those tomes are history books, which don't really.
Well, history might have a little bit of bearing on the other information I would be seeking.
That information is going to largely be based around the trying to think some of the first giants and what their sorry, moving my mic closer now that he was messing with it. Oh, almost lost my headphones.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, we're fine. Basically, around the some of the first giants and what they did in their early days, which was basically what humans did up until recently, not right now. Up until like 2,000 years ago, and they're like it pretty much probably stopped when it got to a point on the giants were waging or having war against certain clans of the quote unquote small folk.
Hmm.
It's probably where the translation had stopped due to being busy with other things. Shh. Quiet.
Ow. Okay, nothing of interest. I guess if anybody's going to find any information here that makes sense, it'll be Denoch, with his ability to comprehend languages. It'd be such a useful spell if I could just get it. Something to consider for another time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just enjoying myself looking around and looking at the scenery of this beautiful fortress and making my room darker.
Easy enough to do. Let's see. What else do we have?
Actually, there is one other thing Valnar would like to do.
Okay. What is that?
See if he can find a cleric that just so happens to have a copy of the Geisma Holy Text.
Ooh. Roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy.
You want high.
I want high?
Yep.
That's not high.
Unfortunately, of these spellcasters that of the clerical nature, the ones here are not of not particularly of Geisma, but rather are of hold on, opening
Another
up the
one.
document. No, shush. Vita.
Okay.
Yeah, for healing purposes. So, unfortunately, not so much for you anyway.
Yeah.
But good looking out. So,
Worth a shot.
yeah, absolutely. So with that, I will give you guys some time to collaborate together on how you wish to go about potentially trying to get the island flying. Or sorry, the
Island?
fortress, the fortress
Okay.
flying.
The island, we're gonna reunite it, but in the other way.
Kind of. We're gonna move the whole island.
Why don't we just take it and push it somewhere else?
I mean, that was what they originally did.
Kind of, yeah. So you guys will look into. I'm gonna let you guys kind of pretend like you guys kind of reconvene, in your guys's like command war room, and you guys can talk about what you would like to do or how you would like to attempt to get the fortress flying again. There are a lot of options, and you don't forget you have the boon of knowledge at your disposal if you wish, if you guys wish to ask a question.
Enoch is coming in with it with the boon of knowledge in his hand. Sets it on the table.
That's just a precaution, correctly? Correct?
Kind of looks to Katya. Looks to the boon. Looks to Katya.
No, I didn't find it. I scoured that library as much as I could, but I just don't read Giant.
Valnar?
How far do you think we could get just using our power?
As a reminder, with your guys' power, and I want to say probably we'll say 100 mages, just because I don't remember the exact number. You guys flew from one island to another, but you guys were also basically always tapped on magic.
Yeah, but what level spells were we using? What's the conversion?
You guys were not very high level at that point in time. I don't think not as high as you are now. So you could probably
Definitely
get a
not.
little bit. You could probably get a little bit further. You're not sure by how much, but
Again, what was the conversion?
I did not give one at that point in time because it's too. It was too abstract to have. You know, if you use a first level spell slot, you can fly this far. Like, it's too abstract. The premise of this is too abstract.
Well, I mean more like how full was the gem or the Harmony Stone?
the stone itself, because it was so massive, I would say even after a full rotation, it was never full. But you guys were also filling it daily, because by the time all the spells and stuff were inputted into the stones underneath, by the next dawn, a lot of that magic was gone. Like, you guys basically would know, well, Deanoch would probably know that by like dawn the next day, or like let's say 9 a.m. every day, everybody put their spell slots in. By 9 a.m. the next day, there was maybe
just enough to keep it floating to let us.
I'd say between 15 and 20% of the magic from the prior day was left. And so it was just enough that you guys, if you like, because remember, you guys had a fight up there, whereas where it was just enough where if you guys had to miss a day, or mostly miss a day of putting in magic,
we can make it work.
You guys weren't going to plummet out of the sky, but if you guys missed multiple days in a row, then you guys would be in trouble.
And that was back then.
Mm-hmm. And I will also say this is a shorter distance because you're going straight up and not across an ocean.
So in other words, if we use our most powerful spell slots,
we're down by like 40 mages, which was they were what, probably
the highest they could probably do was maybe second level. Yeah.
They primarily would have been second level mages with the occasional third in terms of spell level, like or arcane circles, if you will, of power.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, we could definitely probably do it with what we've got.
Well, it would be up to us to supply 40 sorcerer, wizard, what have you, 40 people's worth of magic to not be to equal what we did. And that's why I'm trying to get conversion rates so I can try and figure this out.
Perhaps we can make up the difference with the animals that we have aboard. Instead of relying on them 100%, maybe only to make up the little difference that will be left over.
Which is why I have, and Deanoch just kind of flicks the boon of knowledge with one of his claws, just like flicking your finger out. This thing.
You guys have up to 7th level spells, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if we ask the boon of knowledge?
I do not. I only have up to level 5, I think. Or level 3.
I don't even
level
know
3.
I don't. You tell me, dude.
I have level 3.
I was mainly referring to the full casters.
I know, but I am a caster. I do want to specify. I technically am a caster.
Mm-hmm.
What if we ask the boon?
More than they can, for the most part.
What if we ask the boon if we currently have everything we need to be able to make it to Hofke? Or is that too general?
That just feels too general. Honestly, what I was thinking was more along the lines of asking more along the lines of
Come on, Deanoch, you can do it. You are good with words.
ha.
I'm not joking, it's true.
A part of me does want to figure out the full conversion rate of the creature, figure that whole thing out. Another part of me wants to figure out What would happen if we used a demon?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
a demon.
You remember the little cage I got in Chimera Heights, yes?
Right. That you were going to use on Torben.
What if we run a test run and I remove the soul of a demon and put it in the soul cage, and then try to feed that to the crystal? What kind of power return would we get?
It's an
Or would it
interesting
just
idea.
or would it just cause the whole thing to go kaput?
Mm, I mean, worst case scenario works the same way as necromantic energy. But in order to test this theory, we would need to have a demon from which to. Do demons even have souls?
Hmm. Well, they have something because
Obviously, they're living creatures.
yes,
We would have to find a demon.
and one that is humanoid enough for Soul Cage to work. One of the, apparently according to the original spells, it's specifically meant to work on humanoids. So I don't think trying to capture, say, a
Yeah.
demon that walks on all fours.
Yeah.
Unless... Well, that's a thought for another time. And Enoch will scribble on a piece of paper real quick. And if anyone wants to look at it, they will see convert Soul Cage to demon specific. But anyways. Wait a second.
Hmm. There are so many options available here.
Oh, hold on. I just thought of something.
Hmm.
You remember the chimeric beast we met a few days ago?
Yes. The one that left us alone?
Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah.
If I can figure out how to take its magic and not kill it, considering it was made using my father's magic, it in itself is a higher magical beast than probably anything uh, around here.
But do you remember how far away that is from here? That's at least a 4-day, if not 5-day journey. Just to get there.
Ugh.
We need something that's more immediate.
Wait. What if we ask the orb, where is a location on Hofkeen, on the island of Hofkeen, that we can put the Laputa on and not be seen for at least a full day? That way, we have enough time, recharge our magic, maybe get in contact with Zalpip, my parents, whoever we can get in contact with that's hopefully leading a resistance.
How about a heavily wooded area?
I mean,
But
Wouldn't the rest of the Thunderfall Forest be up on Hoff?
that or the Jagged Woods.
well, we'd also be betting on absolutely no one seeing the flying fortress.
Which is why I specifically said
Show it.
a place that we could reach and hide in without
Yes,
anyone seeing us for
we're
a full
counting
day.
that we're also what I'm trying to say is we're counting on someone not seeing the moving fortress land or show up before we get it hidden.
Again, that's in part of the question. Where we can get. Am I not saying this right?
Maybe not.
Because to me, saying where we would not be seen for a full 24 hours, part of that includes getting up there.
Yeah, and to me, being hidden for 24 hours means not moving in or out.
Ever.
I didn't say hiding.
Hidden, hiding.
I said where we would not be seen.
Eh.
If only I could expand greater invisibility to the actual ship.
Why can't
Wait
you?
a second. Above game. Target, you are a creature you touch.
Above
you're-
game. We're talking about pumping magic energy into things. Why not?
You're also a master of the arcane, so potentially you've also never tried.
Also, how many creatures have been fed to the Harmony Crystal so far? Could
Duh.
not the conglomeration of them be considered a soul in of itself, and thus make the Harmony Crystal, and thus the island technically a creature of some kind?
Now you might be stretching it just a little bit.
Or am I?
I mean, you're kind of going along the same lines of thinking that I was, but
What if we actually make the Laputa a living being?
What? Who says it isn't already?
After all,
If the Harmony Stones are able to absorb magic, by extension, they are living creatures.
well, after all, remember the rock face?
Yes.
Bunch of rock, living creature.
Yeah.
What if we made it so that the Laputa can do that?
How would you propose doing that?
I mean, we're just spitballing ideas right now since none of us have an actual plan. And we're all
Yeah.
trying to figure out exactly what to ask this thing. Ugh. Maybe we just need a night to ruminate. Let ourselves unwind in our own bed for once in... Fuck, how long has it been?
Too
Yeah.
long. Too
What's up,
long.
Ed?
It's been what, like 2 months, I think? Feels like it's been several years.
Not quite that long. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Again, I'm just throwing out ideas right now.
We could start a
Including that work? No, it wouldn't.
I think we need to take some downtime to think about all this.
Right.
Can I
And we
have-
again.
Can I have those of you proficient in Arcana go ahead and give me an Arcana check?
I can certainly try. Ah, I have no proficiency though.
Well, I'll say you can. Wait, how do you not? Oh, you don't. Haha. I'll say
Yeah,
you'll
it's
aid
just a
D-Knock
straight
and give-
intelligence.
Well, I'll say you'll aid D-Knock then and give him
Okay.
that natural 30.
That's fine by me. Yeah, let's do that.
I'll take it.
Cool. I haven't done the math because I kept getting confuzzled, and that's mainly because I need to write it down and write it out. But with a natural 20 for a total of 30, you have an idea of what the effective conversion rate of what you would need is. Okay? And it's very... I don't want to say it's complicated, it just gets very complicated later as you get into your later spell slots. Okay? You are effectively, because you guys are missing about 40 casters, are about 240 spell slots less than what you were before. Okay, 240. However, each spell slot can be converted into first level priorities or first level slot, which is what the total number needs to be. However, and with that being said, every slot that's above 2 or above 1 is worth 2 of the prior slots. So, a second level spell slot is worth 2 first level spell slots. A third level spell is worth 2 second level slots, which is worth 4 first level slots. Whoever wants to do the math, yeah. See, it gets complicated once you get way further down the line, such as like 7th level
But it's
spells.
just
Well,
exponential.
let me start doing
Yes.
some math
So,
here.
whoever wants to do that math to end up with a total, if you then take that total and times it by 3, because there are 3 of you full casters, if that number is close to 240, you guys would know that with the natural 30, and this is what you would be able to do in the moment, D-Knock, that you guys have enough magic to power the castle or the fortress. I need to write it down in order to do the math, and I don't have the paper to do that at the moment. So, if you guys want to figure that math out and figure out whether or not you have enough spell slots for that magic makeup, I have a very good feeling that you do. I just haven't done the math.
I'm trying to figure out the capacity of a single 7th level spell slot.
It's a lot.
Based on my math right now, it's like 32 second level spells.
Or
So that'd be like 64 first level.
So So yeah, you guys, like I said, based off of just a rough estimate, you guys could make it work. You also can't overpower a stone. Just as an
single
FYI.
seventh level, a single 7th level spell slot is worth 64 first level.
Okay. But keep in mind, you can't
Unfortunately.
You cannot overpower a stone. If you overpower a stone, all the leftover magic that it is capable of holding is lost. Okay? Just bear that in mind. So you can't put in all of the extra 240 at one time, or 200. Let's say you can't do 250 at one time, because that'll overpower it, and you'll lose.
So when
whatever.
we had our full team, we could get to 100% stone capacity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very close.
I asked
anyway.
that previously, and you said, and you never answered. So
well, it wasn't quite 100% because at the time you guys were much less powerful. At that point in time, you guys might have had 4th level spell slots.
well, again, that's why I was specifically asking at that time.
And I told you that it was difficult to say because you guys did rotations of it. So that there was always magic in the crystals.
I'm still trying to do this. I keep losing track of my numbers.
I know, it's hard. It's tricky. So in terms of what you guys... In terms of filling the stones to 100%, probably... You're not sure if it is possible, because you have... I would say at this point in time, you have probably not done it before. You may have gotten close, but it's very hard to know. Especially some of the bigger ones, especially because the Laputa has a few different crystals on the underside. Keep that in mind. They all count as the same kind of energy source, but as a means of... for your information. But yeah, it is possible to go to raise the Laputa based off of the mages that you have access to and your guys' own power, and probably still have a little bit of juice left over.
Using just my spell slots to do the math, I have reached 174 first level spell slots with just myself alone.
That sounds a little low considering a 7th level is worth 64, is what you said?
Yes, but... So you got 4 first level slots. Each 2nd level slot will be worth 2, so I've got 3 of those. That would be 6 more right there, so that puts you at 10. Each 3rd level spell slot is 2 2nd level. So you just double the capacity. So you essentially double it each time you look at a level. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So by 7th level, your 7th level is 64 first level by itself. 6th level is another 32.
Right, but that's one spell slot.
Yeah.
Correct.
You have more than one spell slot in certain areas, say such as 5th.
64 plus 32 plus 5th level would be 16 each, and there's 2 of those, so another 32. 4th level would be 8 each, and there's 3 of those, so 24 more. 3rd level is 4 each. There's 3 of them, so that's 12. 2nd level slots worth 2 each, and there's 3 of those, so there's 6 more. Plus the 4 level 1 is 174.
We'll go with it for now. Either way, it puts you guys over the. It puts you guys over the number that you would need.
And that's one full caster.
Mm-hmm.
I got the same as Ronan. For all 3 of us, it's 522.
Well, you gotta remember, my largest spell slot is being used to power Tim.
Okay, so we subtract a 64 from that, and it's still 458 total.
Yeah, you guys would still double the amount that you need, which just kind of goes
In
to
other
tell
words,
you how powerful you are.
Jesus, when you put it in those terms, oh my god. So yes, based on the conversion rate, we can make up the essentially 40% of missing mages.
You could almost. You could do.
We could probably almost do the entire thing ourselves.
Maybe not quite that much, but
I said almost.
I mean, by just using your guys's 6th level spell slot, just the 6th level, you guys will put in 96 spell slots, the 3 of you. So,
yep.
You guys can pretty easily provide enough power to fill the 240. Again, I don't know if the 170 something sounds right, but I'm not doing the math because I can't do it in my head, and I would need to write it down.
Yeah, I'll see if I can punch it into the Discord for y'all.
I was gonna say I did all the math too, and I came to the same exact number as.
Okay.
Where's my art corner? Math corner.
I'll trust you guys. I feel like that's a little low, but what was that, Blind?
Blind didn't say nothing. That was wrong.
Oh. Sorry.
I was just saying, I feel like while we definitely can use that, probably use a hybrid theory.
Mhm.
Good album.
Yeah, thank you. Finally, I make a quote and someone understands.
Yeah. So, but
yeah, if we can find, well, if D-Not can figure out how to not kill a creature and find creatures with enough magic in their body to be worth the hassle. Because I feel like using rabbits ain't gonna fill mutt for the main crystal.
You have no idea. You have yet to try.
Well, again, this is literally, we just got here.
Yep.
We need to, it's one of those things we need to take some time, figure out math, figure out percentages, make everything into workable numbers that people can understand. Because, 20 int guy, he can probably figure things out. Probably put things into quantifiable numbers.
I mean, yeah, probably. That's kind of why I'm giving you this information from your natural 20. So, you're probably the only one able to put it together at this point in time. But that does not mean...
What I'm saying is with my character's total 20 intelligence,
mm-hmm.
given enough time, figuring numbers out, he can figure out how many spell slots would fill the total crystal. Based on smaller crystals, based on...
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And it also may be one of those things, too, where you just have to pay attention to the crystal as you guys power it for the first time in order to fly, and then kind of discover where you are power-wise once people have cast their magic in.
It's a pain to type. But I got it spelled out there for you. I think the reason it gets so complicated is because you have to imagine that with each level of spell slot, you have to essentially double how much it's worth. Because I can't even explain it. I can't explain it in a way that makes any sense. But
it's 11 o'clock your time.
Indeed.
It's 12:03 our time.
Yeah, which I think, as you guys kind of have this revelation, and Enoch explaining that he would like some time to further think and experiment.
We'll say he's crunching the numbers.
You guys begin to settle in for a long rest, and we will pick it up here, or pick it up in the morning of the next dawn next time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, with that, everyone, thank you guys so much for sticking around, and thank you again for helping us reach affiliate, and we'll catch you in the next one. Good night.
Not all.
See ya.